Hey guys, it's me, actually Charlie, and today I want to talk about some of the challenges I've been facing as someone from Gen Z. As you guys know, there's like a lot of bad things happening in the world right now. If you look at this infographic, you can see the numbers increasing. Anyway, if you guys like this video and want more stuff like this in the future, well, then that's cool. Now, first of all, we need to talk about the job market. As you guys know, so many people out there are unemployed and have no money. I'm not really sure if it's the same for you guys, but for me, I've just been having such a hard time finding a job. And even when I do get a job, I'm not able to keep it for long. I usually either get replaced by an AI bot or laid off for some reason. There's this one time where I got hired at an Amazon warehouse, and not even a week in, they're already talking about laying people off. They said something about like finding someone more qualified for the position. What the fuck do you mean more qualified? You pick up boxes and you put them in trucks. Anyone can do that. That's when the door opened and this rinky-dink looking ass bot walked in. How could AI possibly take our jobs? I'm just gonna start packing up these boxes. If these company people know how valuable of an asset I am, they'll start paying me less and I can keep my job that I love. But that's when AI came over with their rocket boots, packed up a whole bunch of boxes and swiftly loaded them all in the trucks within seconds. Apparently it had the strength of 1,070 men, so I guess I guess it really was qualified for the job, huh? My manager came up to me and he was about to say something, but I got bored, so that's when I lifted up his shirt and started swirling my finger around his belly button. That was my getting replaced by AI experience. If anyone could tell me what I was doing wrong, or if you had a similar experience, leave a comment down below. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know, none of this makes any sense to me. Look, I'm just gonna be real, and I know it's what a lot of other Gen Z people are thinking and dealing with too. If you look at this graph, you can see that this is probably really important. There was this one time where I was in Gen Z and I was looking for a job. As you guys know, I have a lot of experience in the workforce and have a good education. I have a bachelor's in mass communication, a video audio certificate, a minor in Mexican and Latin American studies, and I'm currently working for an associate's in 2D animation. This is because at one point I really wanted to make an anime where the main character gets isekai to Mexico and discovers real authentic Mexican food, like chipotle sauce and Qdoba bowls. Anyway, with all these degrees, you'd think at least one person would want to hire me, at least at like Tilly's or Ross or the hospital. But nobody even wants to hire me. This is apparently because people from my generation are too lazy and don't want to work. And apparently we have this thing called the Gen Z stare where we look at people in this sort of condescending manner. So from what I understand, they don't like us at all because we're lazy and disrespectful. And honestly, I see that being a very valid argument. Take a look at this graph. As you can see, the bars are suggesting something about the world. But anyway, yeah, I'm trying to look at things from their perspective. I decided to take a picture of myself staring, and if this is the look I'm giving people while I'm working, then I wouldn't want to talk to myself either. And maybe we are a bit lazy sometimes. I recently got paid from that Amazon job from earlier, and I received a total of $740. 740 is a big number. The only other numbers I know are 1, 7, 27, and 50. Anything beyond that is too big for me. But yes, 740 is the biggest number I know. But here's the catch. After getting paid, I had to pay for my insurance, food, and subscription fees that came from I don't even know where. So I was eventually left with $50. Thankfully, 50 is one of the numbers I know, and 50 is not bigger than 740. How could this have happened? How am I supposed to pay off for my college debt for those degrees now? But that's when I realized, if I had just worked harder, I would have made more money. I learned that from my dad in school, and dad in school knows everything. All those times I spent taking my break and eating, I should have been working. You get what you get and you don't throw a fit. That's what it means to be a real adult in this world. Let's talk about dating. As you guys know, the dating world is really rough right now. Either men and women don't really like each other, or it's super competitive and there's a bunch of sweats. and everyone only talks to each other online on their phones and stuff. People are hooking up over all sorts of dating apps like Tinder and Discord and Valorant. It's freaking weird, dude. I don't have a lot of experience with dating stuff, so I don't know if I'll have anything meaningful to say. There was this one time where a girl replied to my Instagram story. As you guys know, I'm very new to Instagram stories, and I've been trying to get good. She was sending a lot of those heart emojis and smiley face looking things. I asked a friend what that meant, and he said that he thinks that she's totally into me and wants to talk more. So naturally, I asked if she liked Super Mario and Ninjago. I asked her what she thought of the Green Ninja being Lloyd and not Kai. This is a hot take, but I think it should have been Kai. It's been a couple months since she last saw the message. I think she's been thinking very carefully about her answer, because if she answers it wrong, then it's all over, and I'm not giving her a chance. But I will say this. Take a look at this graph. It shows all sorts of data. I wish everyone in the world could be friends. If everyone could be friends, then we could all be one step closer to the nomad and pursue fulfilling lives. Sometimes I think about what it'd be like to be a cheetah in southern Africa. Just running around the savannah super fast, side by side with a National Geographic guy recording me. But apparently cheetahs are only good for being fast. Like they can barely even hunt for their own food. They have to hunt for small to medium-sized prey, like gazelles, and impala, and springbok. I don't know what any of those animals are. To all the Mexican furries watching this video, if you have any information regarding those animals, please let me know in the comments below. I really like it when people comment on my videos, because it's almost like they want to talk to me. It brings me comfort knowing that there are people in the world still seeking human connection. For those of you who don't know, Gen Z has a big problem with individualism and cultural cohesion. I hope one day I can save the world, but until then, I want to use my YouTube channel and community as a safe haven for Gen Z people such as myself who want to hang out and change the world. The first thing I would do to save the world is make everyone play Super Mario games. If everyone understood the deep and enriching themes of Mario, such as brotherhood, to never fear failure, and to take action upon your goals rather than talking about them, I think the world would begin to heal. If I was president of the America, I would host pizza parties at the White House every Friday. Everyone in the world would be invited, and we'd also have soda and candy and Just Dance 2016. Something I've noticed with Gen Z is that we're always on that damn phone. But something most people don't know is that it's actually ruining our social lives and making us lonely. I asked my dad in school what I could do about this, since dad in school knows everything. They said I should go outside and make friends the old-fashioned way. I decided to take his advice, so I went outside and begun my adventure of finding friends. Unfortunately, it didn't last very long, cause as soon as I left my neighborhood, I was met with a traffic congested 4-lane stroad and was hit by an SUV. Traffic shouldn't even be real. As you guys know, traffic is a government conspiracy created by the FBI and Big Oil to waste people's gas, so you have to get more gas. This is why I hate cars and will destroy all cars once I save the world. I heard that the education system is failing young people and isn't properly preparing them for the real world. From my experience, this is true because I didn't play nearly as much Mario in school as I do now in the real world. I think if school allowed you to play more Mario, then people would be better prepared for the future and what life has to offer. Take a look at this graph. The numbers are supposed to be telling us something. Next, I wanted to talk about inflation, another Gen Z struggle at large. But after thinking about it for a bit, I realized that I'm actually very uncomfortable talking about inflation, because I think it's gross and weird. I recently went to the convenience store and bought some chips, paper plates, and White Castle sliders. That shit cost me $36. Is it just me, or did everything suddenly get more expensive? If anyone knows more about this, please let me know in the comments below.
Get this badass fucking card and become friends with Zhu Chongbei in the new Super Actually Friends trading card game. Be friends with everyone. Each booster pack sold separately.
I've been noticing that everyone in Gen Z is trying to become Asian, which is so weird to me. Like, why is it cool now? I've been on this shit since I was born, yet people would always make fun of me for the way I eat noodles and rice and stuff. But then I realized that when people say they want to be Asian, they actually mean they want to be Japanese or Korean. Now I get it. They just like the aesthetic and not the lifestyle. Try living in a Laotian village for a week and see how Asian you want to be after that, assholes. Not that Laotian villages are bad or anything. I just think that people who want to be Asian don't actually want to be Asian. They're just performatively Asian. If they really wanted to be Asian, they'd want to be Chinese. As you guys know, I'm so fucking Chinese. And you'll know why later in the video when I feel like talking about it. Being Chinese isn't something you become. It's something you embody. If you're a Chinese in training, you'll know what I'm talking about. You'll stop calling Chinese food and just call it food. Instead of using a fork to eat noodles and rice, you'll use your bare hands. And someday, you'll come in contact with your spirit animal and find inner peace at the Los Angeles, California Shulai Temple. Never put off until tomorrow what can be done today. A wise man once told me that in 720p. During my adolescent years, I hung out with some pretty sketchy characters. I guess you could say that we were delinquents of the sort. We used to cause all sorts of trouble with other people in school. I kinda just hung around them because they made me feel cool. But sometimes, I'd partake in certain devious activities, like not doing my homework, or calling other students bad names, like poop face or idiot head. I'm sorry. I should have put a trigger warning before saying those words. I guess a part of my evil past is still a part of me, and it doesn't truly ever leave you, huh? The strongest thing a person can do is lift infinity pounds. Speaking of my evil past, there was this one time where I really wanted to get into breakdancing. As you guys know, breakdancing is awesome and is probably in the top 5 of best hobbies you could have. If I had to make a hobbies tier list, breakdancing would be in the S+ tier, right next to beatboxing, building Legos, and Sudoku. Unfortunately, I never learned how to properly breakdance. Breakdancing required that I had an open space and a certain type of surface so that I wouldn't hurt myself. But I never had that kind of environment in my home, because I actually didn't have a home. Apparently there was some housing crisis amongst our generation going on, but that's a topic not related to this video, so I'll have to get back to that story another time. Anyway, since I couldn't learn breakdancing, I had no choice but to pick up a different hobby, like reading manga and manhwa. I had this idea for a manga. Hear me out. What if there was this guy, your typical average Joe, who dies and gets isekai'd into another world. But before he is reborn, a goddess asks him to make a wish and can grant him anything he wants. He decides to ask for an LG tablet with infinite 5G data and minion rush. Also, when he gets sent to another world, all the women fall in love with him for no particular reason. I think I'm gonna call it In Another World with My LG Tablet with an Infinite 5G Data Plan. I really like isekai stories, guys. When I realized that half of Hollywood movies were basically isekais, I got really excited and watched all of them. I think my favorite Western isekai is the Smosh movie, where Ian and Anthony get isekai'd into YouTube. As you guys know, YouTube is my favorite platform. Reason number 1 is that my favorite color is red. Reason number 2 is that I really like triangles. Triangles are my favorite shape, you guys. And reason number 3 is that I really like videos. I don't like Twitch because the videos people upload there aren't even that good. People just post several hours of them just sitting there, watching stuff and eating sometimes. And then a famous person I don't know shows up and they aren't even that interesting either. If Super Mario or the Red Ninja showed up on somebody's video, I get excited. But no, they named the video something stupid, like Kai X LeBron James Mafia-thon 3 Day 30 Subathon. Are we just making stuff up now? If the Smosh movie took place on Twitch instead of YouTube, then it'd be a really fucking boring movie. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of my manhwa in the comments below. To be completely fair, it's not like all videos on YouTube are always good either. Before the great YouTube drought happened, does anyone remember seeing those Rice Gum videos pop up, where every time Rice Gum got a kill in Fortnite, a lady would have to strip one piece of clothing? Why did they do that? Don't they know that's not allowed on YouTube? I don't even understand how people could be into that stuff. There's so many cooler things you could be into, like Ninjago, and breakdancing, and cheetahs. Recently I've been trying to get into music. Sometimes when people are trying to get to know me, they ask me what kind of musical artists I listen to. Then I get really anxious because I don't think I listen to anything people like. So I'm gonna answer that question this one time and never again because I don't like that question. I listen to a lot of traditional Chinese music. This is because most music from pop culture doesn't really move me at all, whereas the strings from a traditional Chinese erhu perfectly captures the sporadic moments of youth. Here, imagine this. It's 1481 in Hangzhou, China. During the reign of the Ming Dynasty, you're a lowly peasant, scraping by one day after the next. One day, you wake up really early for some reason. It's kind of abnormal for you, since you're usually staying up late, laboring away at your father's noodle business. You decide to go and take a walk along the riverside. It's a foggy morning, a quiet one too. All you can hear is the water crashing in the distance at the end of the river. As you walk along the river, you watch the families of ducks wash ashore from the other side and shake the water off their feathers. You think to yourself, feeding them some bread couldn't hurt. You cross the bridge, linking the two sides together, and it was at that moment when everything changed. As the sun showed itself from the horizon, you spotted someone who beat you to the punch. A beautiful lady, feeding bread to the ducks. The two of you make eye contact and engage in conversation. It seems as though she had taken a liking to you. She spoke with the utmost of elegance, and her mannerisms were delicate, like a flower. Her name is Li Hua. That's a nice name, a perfect fit for her. You offer her some noodles. Your noodles make your father's business, but she declines. She tells you she has to be home quickly to tend to her mother's illness. You are left with the ducks, all alone. Later that day, you and your friends visit the entertainment district, looking for a nice night to just get away from everything. Your friends saved up enough money to enter a courtesan house. Although you had no interest, you entered anyway, since they went out of their way to pay for you to come as well. But it was at that moment where everything changed. As the courtesan stepped onto the floor, you see a familiar face. Li Hua, why? And for how long has she been a courtesan? She spots you in the crowd. Ashamed of herself, she covers her face. That's when another man of higher ranking and wealth took her away. Apparently he had purchased a contract, and her services were needed privately in another room.
What? No! Li Hua! 不要离开我！
很抱歉让你看到这些。
Guards, take him away!
我们相爱了！我们相爱了！
You could feel your heartache as you left the courtesan house. She had once again been torn from you to tend to her duties. You find yourself alone at the river again, except the sun wouldn't show itself this time. Only the ducks had stuck around. It was you and the ducks, all alone again. Did that hurt? Yeah, I bet it did. Could Taylor Swift capture that feeling of dread? Does she know what it means to be a peasant in the world where the disparity of wealth is apparent? To be torn apart between love and duty? All people want in this world are stories. Stories that people can relate to. It is the stories of us common folk that'll bring togetherness in our generation. Anyway, yeah, that's the type of music I've been listening to lately. If anyone has other music for me, leave a comment down below. That'd be cool. Whoever invented the vending machine has to be the most evil motherfucker in the world. Like one day they were just like, yeah, so we're just gonna make this thing that has all sorts of snacks and drinks for the sake of convenience. But here's the catch. We're gonna choose the worst snacks, diet soda, and make them all $5 for a tiny portion. Nobody let this guy become a politician. Get the guy who invented toilet paper instead. Man, whoever's idea it was to make toilet paper turn red after wiping is a genius. As you guys know, my favorite color is red, so shout out to the guy who did that. Red represents all sorts of things, like passion, and love, and courage. I don't like it when people are mean and are bullies. I'm a pretty open-minded person, but if someone ensues any form of hatred, malice, and ignorance, well, then I have no patience for people like them, and they're gonna get a knuckle sandwich. I don't understand why people say things like, let's bring bullying back, when bullying is the exact reason why nobody in Gen Z has a distinct personality. I think if everyone had the courage to be themselves and have fun, our world would be in a much better place. If any artists are watching this video, can I ask you to draw me something for free? I really want a drawing of myself with really defined muscles, abs, and the Mario Tanuki ears and tail he gets from getting the Tanuki leaf. That, and I'm also posing like a badass. I'm also an artist, but I'm mostly a videos guy, so I don't really draw like that. So if somebody made that drawing for me, they'd probably become one of my most favorite people of all time. Anyway, I think that's gonna do it for this video. Make sure you comment a lot of stuff. Make sure you answer all my questions, and make sure you be yourself, and we can be friends and stuff. So yeah, bye guys.